Morning, Julia.
Thank you for joining us. Now, can you explain exactly what it is that we believe the government is currently looking at?
Well, they're considering rolling it out so that if you at the moment, if you watch any live broadcast TV, that's a TV that is broadcast from anywhere in the world. So even if you're watching a TV station from, from the Middle East, if you're watching it in the
Yeah.
UK, you have to have a TV license. And the only exception to that is the BBC iPlayer, which is an on-demand platform that has BBC content. So what they're looking at is extending that to therefore being any on-demand content that you would also need a TV license for that, which is an absolute huge.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the argument's been, look, you're not paying the BBC licence fees just with BBC. People say, well, I don't watch the BBC, I don't listen to BBC Radio, I don't even look at the website. And they say, well, no, if you have a television, you watch any live TV on any channel, you have to pay for the BBC. And then it became any live streaming of anything on your iPad or your computer or your phone. And now it's kind of, yeah, whatever you do, we're going to get you somehow.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Well, if you haven't caught our video about Red Dwarf, take a moment, go check it out, because this also is a part of the story that is going on in the United Kingdom right now. I mean, between the crimes that are going on, the CP, people being arrested for their opinions online, you have the film and entertainment industry just circling the toilet, because the BBC network is losing money, because people have canceled their licensings and stuff like that because of the programming on there, and they're switching to streaming. Now we're getting a story, and this is from The Independent and Bloomberg itself, that the government is not ruling out to start charging for streaming service users in the United Kingdom.
Tell me, you didn't just say that.
Yeah, I know. You're saying the same thing. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, really, this is the most insane thing to come out of the United Kingdom. Or is this a ploy to force people to cancel Netflix and streaming and go back to basically the BBC? Yeah, it could be. It could be. Because this is a ridiculous concept in itself. And I hope that these streaming sites brings lawsuit against this, because this is ridiculous. So, I mean, we're going to grab a piece of this from the article from The Independent. That Netflix and Disney Plus users could be forced to pay licensing fee even if they don't watch BBC. Now, to put a premise onto this, just in case if you missed some of my other videos talking about the United Kingdom TV licensing, understand, in the United Kingdom, if you are watching the BBC network, okay, you have a television, you have to pay a licensing fee to the government, which in turn that they pay for the funding of the BBC network. Now you may say, well, that's good, No, because there are people who can't afford it in the United Kingdom. There are, think about the people who can't afford it. These fees are, they're not astronomical, but the thing about it is, it's a good chunk of people's paycheck, and those who are on assistance services. And you say, so, well, can I just plug in a TV and use it and stuff like that without them knowing? They have people who run around in trucks looking for those who don't pay their licenses, and they do things. I mean, they try to break into your home.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what are you doing?
From High Court Enforcement.
Okay, and what do you want?
So obviously you owe £1,328.56p.
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously unpaid TV licence.
Okay.
Obviously, I've come around here to collect the payment in full, or we remove goods up to the value of the 1,300.
Okay, so why are you coming to the side of my house, opening my window?
Because if there's an open window, we're allowed to gain access to the property, sir.
So you're saying that you legally can climb through my window?
That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah.
But you can't though.
Can you just come and open the door, please, sir?
Come,
Come and
come,
open the door
come open the door for what?
to come and speak to me.
Okay, but
I'm not shouting at you through a window.
I've not got a TV, so why am I going to pay for a TV license?
Okay. Alright, well, you do have a TV.
How do you know I've got a TV?
Because I've
You,
already walked around your building, I can see one in your living room.
There are videos out there on YouTube, on TikTok, and many other streaming services that basically show that this is going on through social media, contacts and stuff like that. But we're going to read this. The government is reporting looking into asking Netflix and Disney Plus viewers to contribute to a licensing fee to secure the future of the BBC. Now, understand, if I'm not watching the BBC network on Netflix or Disney, why should I contribute to the BBC? As viewing habits evolve, the government could consider funding options to support the broadcaster when it reviews the BBC's current royal charter, which will end in 2027. Sources told Bloomberg options are on the table, including allowing the BBC to use advertising, creating a specific tax for streaming services, or make BBC radio listeners pay. Now they're going to go after the radios, ladies and gentlemen. Rebecca Ryan from the Pressure Group that funded the BBC called the possible move opportunistic and desperate. She told The Independent, "Is there anything this government won't tax?" Yes, remember, it is a tax. Streaming is not broadcast TV. What will it be next? YouTubers, gaming, or podcasts? It's just a tax on entertainment. That's right. They could come after us. We could be next, ladies and gentlemen. The discussions come after the culture minister, Sir Chris Bryant, said he wants a massive production budget for creating TV and films in the United Kingdom to remain part of the purpose of the BBC licensing fee. I do want the streamers to come here. Tom Cruise have made a massive investments in the UK, he added. But I also want us to have a system where the British production company is commissioned by others to make something that where the intellectual property or some of the IPs remain with the production company. I want that kind of bit of both. The BBC licensing fee, which the government has committed to increasing in line with the inflation each year until 2027 to rise to £174.50 in April. Remember, that is about over $200 US, which is about the average what someone pays for, between $150 to $200 what someone pays for cable. The broadcaster has been cash-strapped in recent years following the licensing fee being frozen for 2 years at £159 before it was increased at a lower rate than the corporations expected and rising inflation. The last rise in household payments, which funds much of the BBC operations, saw a £10 per £0.50 increase, which brought the charge to £169.50 in April of 2024. Cultural Secretary Liz Nandy told BBC Breakfast that the licensing fee was not only insufficient, it is raising insufficient money to support the BBC, but is also deeply regressive. A BBC spokesman said, "We want everyone to get value from the BBC, which is why we are focused on delivering what audience want from us." Oh, bullshit. Trusted news, the best homegrown storytelling, the moments that bring us together. Oh my God, talk about propaganda. The public cares about the BBC, and this year we will launch our biggest ever public engagement exercise so our audience can help drive and shape what they want from a universal and independent BBC in the future. We can look forward to engaging with the government on the next charter and securing the long-term future of the BBC. I'm telling you right now, this is the beginning of the end of the BBC network at this point. Why? Because they continue to fund programming that, as they're trying to say, they said, we're focused on delivering what audience wants from us. They are not. Ask the Doctor Who fans. Ask the last decade or so how Doctor Who has been on this channel and being streamed abroad as well. These are DEI policies that have been thrown in there. Or as I like to do it, Hays Code 2.0. Because they're telling producers, you have to hire this particular group of people. You have to have stories about this particular group of people. And it's not that there's not anything wrong with that. Is that when you focus on one particular type of story that nobody, including the people that try to reflect these stories to, does not want, you have an issue. And you don't get it right to begin with. You put to the point stories that it's just, it's incredibly insane, stupid, and of course, just like what happens with the anime English dubs, you are focusing on attacking certain political groups and people who oppose the same opinions that you have with those on the far left and the far right. You have to remember this. There are those who just want to destroy the industry, who want to put their own stamp on things and rather have programming that they deemed okay, not to the artistic expression, especially what made Doctor Who a fantastic science fiction series. Now they're taking the classic episodes and trying to remold them. They say, we're making them better for the modern era. Yeah, exactly. Nobody from this era that is a fan of science fiction from the BBC wants it changed. They want their Doctor Who the way it was presented and continue to be presented originally, the way the story went. Not changing the history of it. Not changing that you want to add certain characters and minorities in certain places to replace the characters that were already there to begin with. Or change storylines to say, hey, this will make it better. No, that was the mystery. They said we have to break the glass ceiling. The glass ceiling was always broken. You have to remember, the Doctor Who series originally was produced by a woman. That's correct. And was for quite some time. And that's through season 1. And going into the next couple of seasons. They don't want to acknowledge that. They want to never acknowledge that. They say, well, Doctor Who has to be a woman. Listen, I have nothing against a regeneration into a woman. But here's the other thought to the problem of the situation. To the point, and this is similar to with the James Bond situation. They said, oh, we need a female spy, James Bond. In the case of the James Bond, they had the chance with the character Jinx in one of the movies. And they talked about spinning that off, and they just never got there. In the case of Doctor Who, you didn't have it once. You didn't have it twice. You had 3 chances to spin off a female Time Lord character. Now, you did spin off Sarah Jane, which was a great idea. Now, unfortunately, she did pass away before she continued the series. But you also had Romana. You also had the Doctor's daughter, Jenny. That could have been done a really good series. And you could have done Donna Noble. Why wouldn't you do that? Why didn't you pull the trigger? Not once, not twice, 3 times that could have been done. Because you had those, they said, we have to change the Doctor. And that's what they did. Destroying the series. They've lost, they're practically almost, there's maybe a small percentile that is still watching. And we're talking a very small percentile. You've lost most, at least more than 80% of your fans. And, you're not, if you reverse the course on this, you might get some of them back. Most of them won't. They're tired of the politics. They're tired of the poor, and it's not only the DEI, it is the poor writing. The stories that they put out. You know what was great about Doctor Who? They had some great stories, great writers. They cheapen it. It's like you have a recipe for a good pancake mix, and then you cheapen the ingredients that goes into it, and it doesn't taste the same anymore. And that's what happened with Doctor Who. You changed everything around, you changed the ingredients, and it doesn't taste right anymore. So now you got most of your citizens dropping their licenses because either they can't afford it, or the programming sucks so bad they can't watch it anymore. They can't watch the news, which is total propaganda now. Because you can't go on Facebook, you can't go on X and express your opinion without a
FBI, open up!
knock on the door from the local police department. Which they should be spending their time on arresting those who don't belong in their country to begin with, that are committing crimes that they're trying to hide, that basically even those in the high-ranking offices of the UK government is trying to say there's nothing to see here. These are the problems in the United Kingdom now. And now they want you to either pay to watch Netflix or other streaming, or even Tubi, which Tubi is free. Now, if this goes through, you won't be paying free for Tubi. So that means, and put this into the perspective, we're going to tie it up in the ribbon right now. That means they're going to be monitoring your computer now. They're going to be looking at what you're watching on your laptop, tablet, phone. This is why they're trying to push age assurance laws. This is why they want to know who you are, what you're watching, and basically they're going to make a list of that and charge you accordingly. And if it's something they don't like, they will imprison you. Yeah, I'm going to put into that perspective. But here's a perspective I want to hear. I want to hear from you now. I want to take a moment to give me your thoughts about this situation in the United Kingdom, especially those of you who live in the United Kingdom and still is able to receive this particular channel, this particular videos out in the United Kingdom. I don't know how much longer I have there, but hey, listen, hit a VPN for now, as long as they're not charging you now, but hit a VPN, get a VPN, and still comment. I want to hear this. Those of you here on this side of the pond, United States, I want to hear from you. So comment. Be sure to hit the like, share this video because it's very important, and hopefully today's the day I earn your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out all of our other videos here on Cuticast TV, Madman with the Show, and on Thursdays we have Otaku Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, both on YouTube and on Rumble. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.